make some crinkly sounds preemptively here.
Wait, what happens if I say I want it live on YouTube? Let's just see. Okay. Sure.
Oh, sure.
Zoom, you can manage my YouTube account. What do I care?
Like, I trust that guy. He's great. Also, my computer is so old at this point that I have hello, soft focus.
Me too.
It's great. I hope I never update.
My focus is so soft, I feel I look like a ghost. Oh my God.
Glamour shots. I wish I had a tiny hat.
I turned it off. Wait. Stop. Okay. I stopped the live stream.
Cool idea.
We can record this, but I stopped the live stream because it was doubling in my ears. But we are still recording. Check. All right, cool.
Cool.
Do you have any kind of I can't remember if you have any kind of microphone thing for your computer?
I don't.
Okay. That's okay.
I could like try to call you on my phone or put AirPods in.
I don't like AirPods.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound good. Okay. Ready?
I'm so ready.
Morgan, welcome back to Sagittarian Matters.
Here we are.
We have a very special episode today because we are trying, except for one thing, we are trying only things given to us by listeners, and we have some fan mail to go along with some of it.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Now, we do also have an advice question, but let's get straight to some tasting. The first thing I want to taste with you, will you please tell listeners what you found in your mailbox today?
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to rewind. If this is like the birth story, we're going to rewind to like gestation period. So I was out of the house, and when I arrived home, there was a strange soft focus envelope, zipper pouch that I opened up, and within was contained bada bean, bada boom. 2 flavors. There's going to be for you today sea salt, and by you, I mean me, and mesquite barbecue. They've got really colorful packaging. There's a Ziploc bag full of, I'm not sure what. It looks like a cauliflower fossil. So we're going to be tasting some cauliflower fossils. And then there's some chocolatey brown nuggets with white filling. And then, so I opened it up, and in this, unmarked package contained 2 labeled, 2 unlabeled additional packages.
Morgan, the first thing we're going to try are the cauliflower fossils, also known as organic cauliflower bites in Buffalo Ranch flavor. Whoa. These were sent to us by friend to the show, Will.
This is a product?
He says, "Dear Sagittarian Matters, are these good? Also, I would still be curious about the chocolate hummus. We haven't gotten to chocolate hummus yet, Will, but we will. These are Buffalo Ranch cauliflower bites. He wants to know, too oily, too spicy, too weird, just bad, or possibly good?"
I actually have this question for my own self all the time. Rhythm Foods, organic cauliflower bites. Wait a minute. Is this the same brand that made the product that kicked this whole thing off, which was the white chocolate kale chips?
Rhythm Foods is definitely known for their kale chips. Are they the makers of the white chocolate kale chips?
It's
quite possible. So these are organic cauliflower bites. These are snacks full of life. Ready to spice up your snack life? You'll love this spicy little number. Do you like that's supposed to be like sex life? Our Buffalo Ranch cauliflower bites pack a 1-2 punch of bold heat and zingy ranch flavor without a drop of dairy.
Without a drop. I wish so badly that we could both work in like product tasting and then also like packaging R&D. Putting it all out there for the job. We could write this copy.
Listen to this. Plus, we apply just enough heat and pressure to the bunch to keep in all the vitamin C, vitamin K, and fiber that keep you crunching to the beat.
They smell like cauliflower, everybody.
Are you ready to crunch to the beat?
And pressure in this? Wow. Ooh. Okay.
Well, Anya was interested.
Oh my God. I can see my own flecks of spit all over the computer screen. Okay, I was going to say that I had this exact same question about eating a bean chip earlier. Is this good? And then after the first one, usually you're like, okay, yeah, this is good. Hold on, I'm eating a second one to get to that place. Oh, I think these are good. I would still call them fossils.
I think they're good and gross at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, if you were living in your home,
which we all are.
and you shared a bag of these with someone,
yeah,
you might leave feeling like, okay. If you were on a road trip and you ate some of these and it was all you had, you would be disgusted by them.
Would you?
15,
after like a week?
Well, I think like you would eat them and then you would get out of the car and get back in the car and the smell of them would make you feel revolted and upset with yourself.
Yeah, like maybe your clothes would smell like that. Also, imagine putting on a mask after eating these. I just saw Nicole sniff it and then eat it. I still stand by they're good. I don't mind the smell of a cruciferous vegetable. I'm into it.
But
this is pretty weird.
Cauliflower. There is some sugar. There's spices. There's a lot of organic stuff. There's maltodextrin. Don't worry.
Oh, thank goodness. You want to know what they get like a 10 out of 10 for? Is a texture I've never experienced. You know?
It is cauliflower space food fossil.
Wow.
Thanks, Will.
I think they're good. What if I'm a fan of Rhythm Foods?
I like Rhythm Foods work. I do want to say this whole bag is only 130 calories and only 3 grams of protein. So I feel a little bit like eating this as a throwaway.
No way, except for it tastes good.
60% of your vitamin C for the day.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
I like a little more calories. I like a little more protein. You may not know this about me.
I would sprinkle this on top of something. Shocker. A salad, a bean dish. You know what I mean? Like something else, another kind of what on top of a cauliflower? That's meta.
Whoa.
Wow.
Sometimes I eat that kind of thing and I'm like, this isn't kosher.
What about, it's like turducken. Sorry.
Well, like when I have like a Brussels sprout pureed soup that I'm putting on top of Brussels sprouts.
Yum.
Whoa.
You know, like that like green bean casserole with the fried onion things. You could put this on top of that.
Oh, for sure. I enjoy the buffalo and ranch mix, but I think the ranch mix in there is part of the thing that makes it feel like I would feel it was putrid if I got back in the car and the car smelled like that.
I'm into it. I don't mind stinking.
Speaking of beans, you have some beans at your house, and I want to read you the really sweet note that came with it from listener Emily Helmus. Dear Sagittarian Matters, thank you for continuing to keep your podcast going strong through the hellacious months of the pandemic. My life is a little less lonely because of it. Listening feels like hanging out with old friends.
Oh my God.
Hope these bean snacks are good. I haven't tasted them yet. Love, Emily. And look at this cute little card with an old-fashioned stove and a hedgehog sticker that says, what's cooking?
Oh my God, that is so cute. That is so nice.
Listeners, it is our pleasure keeping you company during the pandemic. You're keeping me company, and getting to talk to Morgan about food in particular.
This is the best.
Enriches my life.
I'm not joking, and I am a sap. I own it 100%. I feel really lucky. Are you kidding? You shared snacks with us? Beans, no less?
These people shipped these snacks to my home.
I know. Actually, I just want to say one thing to Will, which is that maybe I'll try to snap a picture and share it, which is there is a full-size billboard celebrating chocolate hummus right in our neighborhood. The hummus company that makes this is like, celebrate the season or whatever. It's something like holiday and festive, which apparently chocolate hummus is a festive food for celebration. And I was like, yes.
I like that they tried to pull that.
Oh, they did. It's there.
They're like, okay, people don't like chocolate hummus. I get it. What if we call it a spread? Okay, it's still not selling. One more thing. You know what they like every year is a tradition, especially now. There's a lot of time to think about food and tradition because that's all you have left. How about we market it as the traditional holiday snack?
Traditional holiday snack. You know, I will say chocolate hummus has gotten a lot more airtime than their other sweet, in quotes, seasonal flavors, such as cranberry walnut. Yeah. You thought it was one, but it's not.
Okay, what do we have here? I gave you the original bags. I have mine in Ziplocs and Tupperwares.
They look really, like boldly colored.
These are fava beans that have been dried. They're called bada boom.
Bada bean, bada boom.
And they're dry and crunchy. This is different
Wait,
than when Beth Pickens and I tried those like those wet beans in a bag.
they're
Crunchy broad
broad
bean.
beans.
But look at the ingredients on the back. What does it say?
Does it say fava? Oh, it says broad bean in parentheses fava. Hey, I didn't know. They're one and the same.
I never know that.
They have a cocoa dusted flavor as well. Everyone really loves to like dabble in the sweet market.
Are you trying sea salt first?
Yeah,
There's cocoa dust?
they said, and sweet cinnamon and more. I think these are pretty good.
How much protein are we talking about here?
We're talking about blue packaged sea salt fava broad beans.
What's the protein? 7 grams?
Yeah. Wow, nicely done, Nicole. I mean, they do make your mouth dry in that way that eating a dried bean is like, not as the goddess intended, but I think they're crispy.
This feels very much like eating a wasabi pea.
Yeah,
This is the same
exactly.
texture as a wasabi pea. It has the same weird sweetness on the outside as wasabi pea. It just
does.
doesn't have this satisfying spice of a wasabi pea.
I wonder what that technology is. How do you think
Wasabi.
but no. I know wait, what? Wasabi? How do they get the texture? Know what I'm saying? Is it like
What,
is it like a dry fry? Is it a fry?
what do they do to this?
I don't know. Well, I'm eating them all, so.
I give this a thumbs up. I don't know what the occasion is.
Again, road trip.
Bada bean, bada boom. I'm curious how this
Okay.
will feel in my stomach. You love a dry crunch, Morgan.
Crunchy is my favorite flavor. I fear the day when my teeth can't keep up with my eating habits and, but I just want to crunch as long as I possibly can.
Okay, let's try.
Mm.
I'm sniffing.
Sniffing. You are like a dog.
I'm sniffing a bada bean.
Tossing them out here.
This is barbecue.
It's called smoky mesquite. I'm sorry, it's called mesquite barbecue. I like the salt better.
The mesquite barbecue flavor has that sickly sweetness that a barbecue potato chip does.
Ooh,
That turns me off.
like
I like
Lay's, like a gas station chip.
Yeah, like a gas station, super sweet. Like it just tastes like so many chemicals in your mouth at once, like liquid smoke plus some kind of weird stabilized sugar.
Can I tell you that I read oh, there's stevia in here. I read a whole breakdown of how they make liquid smoke, and it actually is like they take smoky wood or something like that and like steep it and stuff. It's natural. Isn't that weird?
It is. I kind of remembered knowing that, but I couldn't back it up. So when I was trying to sell somebody who likes natural foods on liquid smoke, they were like, "What's in this?" And I was like,
You're like, hey,
good. Okay.
You know what? I'm definitely going to finish both of these packages at a later occasion.
Okay.
Just for my own digestional health. But is why I'm taking a pause. But I'd buy these. I think they're good.
Bada boom. These are called. They're the driest of dry crunchy snack. Okay, Morgan.
Do you want me to review? Do you want me to redo the copy on the bag?
Yes, please. And then tell me if you give it thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh my God, here we go. Bold, period. Crunchy, period. Satisfying, period. Our snacks are made from broad beans, aka fava beans. That's what's printed. Roasted and seasoned to perfection. Tear open a bag of this protein-packed snack and savor the flavor. Sometimes good snacking is just that simple. Bada bean, bada boom.
How many people had to put their heads together to come up with bada bean, bada boom?
I just really wish, I'm putting the call out, someone hire us to do this.
Please.
Please.
We'd be happy to.
We'll taste, we'll tweak, we'll write copy. Nicole will record all of your commercials.
Hey, do you like? Listen to my commercial voice.
Hey.
What moves you? You deserve a snack that tastes as good as it makes you feel. With ingredients you can pronounce. With flavors you crave.
You're not
with energy.
yourself on this job, Nicole.
By the way, well, the flavors I can pronounce include high oleic sunflower and or safflower, maltodextrin.
You did a great job of pronouncing. I think you're hired. You're like, did you know? This is stupid. You're hired.
Close bag tightly to preserve the crunchy goodness. Okay, so
Crunch.
the crunch zone. What do you think of these cauliflower fossils?
I I would totally buy these. I don't know what the deal is. Nicole's oh, I'm definitely giving it a thumbs up. They're weird, so just, take it with a grain of salt, but I think they're good.
Take it with a grain of maltodextrin. I give it a side to thumbs up.
Wow.
Organic cauliflower bites from Rhythm. I think maybe get it one time, but eat it in an open air environment, like at the park,
Yeah.
so you don't have to smell it on yourself later.
Like, I wouldn't really wanna do, like, Frenching after eating those.
Mm-mm.
You
You
know
don't
what I
want to
mean?
smell it coming back to you after it repels off someone else's mouth.
Yeah, it's more like a snack just, like, on a day on your own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then the bada beans, I give them again a sideways thumbs up because I don't know. I don't know if I wanted salty crunchy if I would go for this wasabi pea texture.
Especially in light of COVID times, I feel like just some outside new flavor, new texture, just something that's not the same 10 things I've eaten for the past 11 months, um, is like, just really a true gift and it stimulates the brain. So I don't know. Maybe during a different time I would give a thumbs up, but right now they're a thumbs up. And also their little window on their see-through package looks like a bean. That I approve. That I
I
approve.
do like that too. I can't remember what the beans were called that we tried before, that Beth and I tried from LA.
Lupini.
Lupini beans. It was like the wet, weirdly wet, but very protein rich, like pre-packaged lupini beans.
It's like the vegan version of like gristle.
Mm. Mm. I would I would like to move on to another listener and friend to the show gift.
Woo!
Liz Prince, noted Sagittarian, friend to the show we haven't seen in too long, sent me this for my birthday. Dear Nicole, I have gifted you a bag of Needhams, a Maine confection specialty. Think a creamier, richer Mounds candy bar. These coconut chocolates are made with potatoes.
Ugh.
They are totes veg, and if you feel like sharing, maybe you and Morgan can review them on the podcast.
Oh my
Love,
God.
Liz. Liz, we love you.
Liz. I've never met you, Liz, but I feel like now I know you. Wow. So this is like a Mounds bar, but it's got a potato. Ooh, good old-timey packaging with some rope motif.
Sacred and the most particular to Maine, the legendary Needham. A time-honored sweet crafted in small batches with rich coconut and creamy potato. Yes, the noble spud, dipped in luscious dark chocolate. Enjoy this iconic Maine treat.
Oh my goodness. I'm
Yes,
so
the noble
excited.
spud.
The noble spud. Wow. Okay.
So I broke one open for you.
Oh my God. Wonderful.
I'm all in.
I'm 100% in. Wow.
Wow, the noble spud.
I really just think there's nothing the potato can't do. Like, you'd never eat this and think potato, but I'm sure it's doing something like really important for the texture of this. I'm just sure of it. Also, I think I've mentioned before that there was like a chain in the 80s in LA from whence I came, called Spud Nuts, which was like a potato
Donut?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they were like real soft and stuff. I think there might be like one or two scragglers still left in the world. But again, like, potato bread, it's all soft and smushy.
Mm-hmm.
I think like potatoes. They're incredible.
This is a delicious candy bar.
Wonderful.
If people can order this online, it's from Bixby & Co. It appears that bixbyco.com has a website. You can follow them on Instagram at BixbyCo, BIXBY Co. And you can try to find your own Needham's rich chocolate and creamy potato.
Wait, what's this candy called again?
Needham's.
Oh, just Needham.
This is it. We are eating a Needham.
A singular?
And I want you to see on the package, there is a picture of an octopus. There is a picture of some kind of historic building. There's a picture of a wheel of a ship and a sailboat and a coconut. Coconut in Maine, I don't understand, but the rest of it seems very Maine.
I don't either, but I'm into it. Wow. Liz,
I do.
thank
Morgan,
you.
just the other day I was watching Chopped,
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
and they were using the word noble to describe a dish. And
Mm.
they were talking about basically this is not vegan friendly, but a chef had turned some kind of like horrifying heart meat into something that was a delight for the judges. And she was like, she was French. I'm not going to do this well. I feel the best part of cooking is to learn how to butcher the meat to make it a more noble slice of meat, no matter the cost. And they kept using that word about the nobility of the cut and the nobility of the food. And then I hear it again, here at the noble potato. I mean, I would call a potato humble, honestly. I don't know if I would call it a noble spud, but have you ever called food noble?
I feel like the heat is on. Methinks not. Methinks not.
I mean,
I
you
mean,
don't
I
have.
will from now on, the noble spud, obviously.
I'm just going to try to start using it. Also, I realized at some point I was hanging out with a senior citizen who referred to a meal as gorgeous.
Oh, yeah,
Look
that's
at this gorgeous meal. And it just made me think that that was like a real sign of a particular age.
nobility. Mhm.
Morgan, can I give you 4 chopped ingredients and you tell me what you would make
Oh, shoot. Okay.
for either appetizer or entree round?
Wow, I really have not prepared for this, but I'll try. I'm not my sharpest today.
I know.
Maybe
I
the
know you
noble spud will
haven't.
get me in the zone.
We can even pause. The ingredients are chef,
Okay. Yes.
watermelon,
Okay.
sweet potatoes,
Okay.
knockwurst, which we can say is like a vegan hot
Ew.
dog. Let's just
Okay.
say vegan hot dog and almond butter.
Ew. Does it have to be one cohesive dish?
You have to find a way for this to all go together on the
Well,
same plate.
okay, I'd probably make a savory almond butter sauce, for the sausages, which maybe I would sear. And then also I might do some, a tower of rounds, like some sweet potato rounds, tower, like sausage round. We're going real,
Yeah.
um, you know, okay. And so then maybe we've got a savory almond butter sauce. And then
What
whichever.
style of savory? Like a gravy kind of sauce or like a
Not a gravy. We're going for gorgeous, noble, and elevated. So,
mm.
um, more like something. Okay, so I don't know what knockwurst tastes like. So
It's
we'll
like
just
a hot dog. It tastes like a hot dog.
ew,
Yeah.
gross. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, so maybe we're going caramelized onions, some more like, thyme, fresh herbs and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah, well, like let's sort of like, travel the thyme route. Maybe something like a little. Oh, okay, yeah, and then we're gonna top it. We're gonna skewer it with, like, some kind of herby skewer, like a rosemary or something, weird that I don't even know what it is, like a woody stem. I'm literally looking into my yard, like, "What's out? What's out there? What's out there?" Like a cedar. Okay, yeah. So we're skewering it with a cedar, and then we're gonna dust it with, some, freeze dried because we've got, like, nitrous what's that
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have all the molecular
yeah.
gastronomy stuff.
We're gonna do some air. We're gonna serve it with some air, and then we're gonna do some freeze-dried watermelon and freeze-dried lemon peel to dust on the top. And then it's gonna be a long tower that you have to like disassemble with your cedar skewer or your rosemary skewer, and then that's it.
That is thank you, Chef Morgan.
Feeling noble as hell right now.
Listeners may not know this, or I may not have mentioned it for a while, but at some point in Portland, Oregon, there was Vegan Iron Chef.
This
It
is
was a
true.
live event put on by some local ambitious vegans. They rented out a huge space.
Yeah.
They got stoves, they got refrigerators.
3 full-sized, like, residential stoves, like, not burners, like, full I was like, "How do they get ovens in here?" Like,
They
your
got
home
ovens,
yeah.
like just in like a warehouse space that was like a party space, not a cooking school.
No, like, they assembled this whole dang thing.
And then I was the host with Isla Chandra Moskowitz, and Morgan was one of the contenders of 3.
'Twas true. I didn't win. Actually, it was a team effort.
You could have won. You
We
could
were
have won.
robbed, truly.
They were robbed. But their secret ingredient, which I also think was like kind of like a softball, was
Yeah,
ginger.
it was ginger.
I mean, it should have been like, vegan haggis. If I was to, you better watch out for my chopped challenge. I
You
get
better watch
you're
out.
getting something like vegan haggis. I want to say with the chopped ingredients, watermelon, sweet potatoes, knockwurst, almond butter, I would make
What would you make?
because I've thought of this because now every time I watch Chopped, I pause it and I think
Yeah, yeah,
I would make like a wasabi watermelon salad
yeah,
situation on the side.
light.
And then I think I would go a kind of a Japanese root, like maybe even a sushi roll or like one of those like sushi balls. Because I remember reading in a zine a long time ago, Adrian Tomane, the Japanese cartoonist, talked about as a kid eating stir fried hot dogs. So we had this recipe in a zine a million years ago that's like soy sauce, sugar, and maybe ketchup all mixed together. And then you are basically like making these caramelized hot dogs. I think this kind of food also went to Hawaii with like Japanese people that lived in Hawaii. So this it would be a little bit like that. Like I think that you could find this dish in Hawaii, not the wasabi watermelon. But so maybe like a ball of rice, some and or in a roll with some kind of stir-fried hot dogs
Mhm,
and
mhm.
stir-fried or tempura sweet potatoes. And then the
Ooh.
almond butter, I would make a sauce for sure. Like I would make almost like a peanut sauce. This is a little pan Asian situation happening. I would make some kind of peanut sauce that rhymed or that worked well
Mhm.
with these
Ooh,
dishes.
also, thing I've always been curious about is, you know those, crunchy rice cracker chips that I love, those Dangs that, like, I'm like, "What is their mystery flavor?" And they're sweetened with watermelon juice. I wonder if we could do some, like, crispy rice, disc to elegantly serve this masterpiece on, like, we, like, get I don't know how any of that's made, but maybe we'll try it. We're gonna go wild on this and just try it. Maybe the judges will like it.
Chef Morgan, how much time did you have to make your food on Vegan Iron Chef?
I don't know, but all I do remember was it was at least 100 plus degrees in there. And so with like 3 home ovens cranked in this warehouse space midsummer with like my mom like waving a little like pennant flag that we had made. She was like, "Wee, this is great work. This is great." Um, I just was like, "Wow, we are gonna just pass the hell out." And I remember sort of like frisbeeing like a cherry ginger galette at the last minute. It was like too hot and we're like, "Ah!" you know.
You had to make every course. You had to make a main and a dessert.
Yeah, we did, and
Or
I
did we
think
have
we
was there 3 courses and ginger was the thing for every course? Because I
I
remember you made peanut noodles and I remember you made the galettes.
yeah, and then there was, like we made some kind of, like, ginger limeade sip, like, palate cleanser, I think. I think there was something else that I can't remember. It was, at least 10 years ago, but probably longer.
The controversy was someone who shall not be named,
Voldemort?
they had some ice cream.
They did.
They maybe them bringing in their own ice cream maker was the controversial part, and the fact that they got quote unquote extra time because
Yes.
they wanted their ice cream to stay in the freezer until the last possible minute with the judges. Where if you've watched Chopped or whatever, once
Tough.
the ice cream's out of the machine, tough shit. That's the texture you're gonna get.
Tough titties. Yep.
That
100%.
was the controversial part, I remember.
Yeah, and then the judges were very impressed with their, like, cold, delicious ice cream, but I was like, "We pulled this galette out of the oven, like, whether it was done or not. You don't get time to let it rest."
No,
No,
no.
absolutely not. Okay, so before we convened in the
Mhm.
ethers as we are right now, I was visiting friend of the show, Dawn Riddle, and she gifted me this item called Soom chocolate sweet tahini.
How do you spell Soom?
Soom, and it says, "Here's a picture of the Soom sisters," and there's 3 of them.
That looks like the Roaches,
They're
the
hugging.
band. Oh,
Oh my god,
wow.
I wish the Roaches had, like, a tahini company. God. Also, can that be our retirement plan? Just wondering, me and you, Nicole.
Sure.
So I'm gonna taste this on, freshly baked bread that Dawn also gifted me, and
Oh
I
my
wish
god.
I had known that there would be an additional tasting. I would have shared it with Nicole. Wait, Nicole! We have a
What?
sweet course which we did not taste, which is Oatly.
Well, let's wait to the Oatly till after you do this because we just set it up. People
Oh,
are on the edge of their seats.
I
What does
know.
it taste like?
Good goddess. Okay, it's thinner than whoa. Um whoa.
She had to shove it in her mouth mid-sentence because it was about to drip off the bread, and so she just caught it with her whole mouth, and now Morgan is chewing. She's
This is like
thinking,
this has Nicole George's all over it. It's like What's the hazelnut one? Nutella.
Nutella?
But it tastes like tahini, Nicole. Nicole.
Where did she get it from?
I don't know. I'll have to
Mm.
ask. This is so good.
Is it sweet?
It's very sweet, like Nutella, but it has like the like bitterness of tahini and the like sesame-ness of sesame, like raw or whatever sesame. And it's so chocolatey. And it is so good on this bread. Wow. This would be good on everything. Bananas, um, you know, the noble spud, bread.
You'd put it on a potato?
I would. I would. Just from a spoon, ice cream. This is a hit. I wonder if we
Mm.
can make hot chocolate out of it. What?
Oh,
Mm.
this is driving me berserk that I can't eat some of that. Like she's waving the spoon in front of the camera. She's taunting me. She's flaunting it. Well, let me eat my yogurt. Let me eat my strawberry oat yogurt.
I forgot to bring my yogurt. I might have to take a brief pause and go get it. One moment.
Sure.
My God, that is so good.
Ugh,
I know. I'm so
I'm
sorry to
so
be
jealous.
rubbing.
I've never been more jealous in my whole life.
You know how good it was? Well, it's even better than that. Mm.
Well, so listeners, I went over to Morgan's porch while she's gonna go get her yogurt. I went over to Morgan's
Oh
porch
my
and
God.
she had out
Oh my
a
God.
tiny she had out a teeny tiny jar for me full of yogurt that I put in my purse and now am here ready to eat for you. I'm just going to sit here while we do it. I also want to say I did today try a date dipped in tahini, which it may surprise you is the first time I've done that because I always felt like dates were just a little too sweet for me to have as a daytime snack, but it was
Wow.
actually very delicious. Morgan, I have my little tiny pot of yogurt here.
So I look like a 5-year-old with like chocolate all around the rim of my mouth because I just licked the spoon. Wow. We're tasting Oatly oat gurt. Gurt, not a suffix. Okay. The packaging is real cute in typical Oatly fashion. It says the original Oatly oat gurt, and it says non-dairy, full-fat yogurt alternative strawberry flavor. No, it just says strawberry fruit at the bottom. I like that they put fruit at the bottom.
Well, that's fun.
That's cool.
I think this could be funkier. How can you describe this? It's very thick. They know what they're doing with thickness and fat.
I feel like this tastes like every other vegan yogurt I've ever had. Nothing is standing out to me.
I'm trying to decide if it's coating my mouth the same way like the Daya brand cream like yogurt would or
This seems just fine. Their oat milk is so delicious and like notably more so than other oat milks. This yogurt is like not. Oh, guess what there is? Wait a minute. Potato protein? There's potato protein in here.
Does that just mean the thing from potatoes that will thicken something up?
I've never seen this ingredient before.
So there's potatoes in this is a potato round. We didn't even know it.
I know we didn't even know it, but it's not potato starch, it's potato protein. Do they have protein in it that we don't know about?
Not that I know of. Remember one time a person working at a cafe that shall remain nameless, and I had a mini feud because she tried to tell me that avocado was a good source of protein. And I was like, Madame, that is fiction. That is a fiction you just told me. That's not real.
I'll tip my tiny hat to you.
I couldn't keep it to myself. I just ate all this because it tasted good like a dessert, but it actually, it's not funky enough to me for me to actually want this. It tastes kind of blah. I just feel it's neither here nor there. It's forgettable. Their yogurt, their ice cream is delicious. Their yogurt, forgettable.
Forgettable. Totally. Did I have Oatly today? I don't know. That was just fine. That was like a real thumb at a solid 3 or 9 o'clock.
This would taste better as a pudding than as a yogurt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like if they took this same thing, added some chocolate, it's not even funky enough for me to tell them to dial that down.
No, it's not that tart. It's not that like strawberry-ish. I think it tastes like strawberry. It really just tastes like literally any other non-dairy yogurt I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Meh. Well,
so
we had a
this
lot of really strong flavors today, and that was like the weakling of the bunch.
so on the dessert round, the Needham's
Mm,
Noble Spud candy, thumb way up for me.
all the way up.
The
Up.
chocolate tahini spread,
Oh my God, I'm so sorry you missed out on that. Again, I'm gonna rub it in one more time. I'm so sorry. It's so good.
and
So,
then the Oatly yogurt is
mm.
sideways thumb.
Mm-hmm. I didn't, nothing was wrong.
Nothing was wrong, but nothing was right.
Yeah.
It was the bare minimum,
Mm-hmm. It was
in
a
my
bare
opinion.
minimum. Yeah.
And also, it's just like, you know how oats are so mellow?
Yeah.
It's just as mellow as oats are. So if you just imagine drinking like the water from the bottom of oatmeal, like if you made a little cup of oatmeal and then you kind of drank the top of it,
It's just like what it is. It's
it
like a
tastes like.
strawberry. Or like, when you get a rash, and then you're supposed to take like an oat bath because it's like soothing and coats your mouth. Like
Tastes like that.
it's kind of that vibe where you're like, okay.
Then if there were strawberries in the bottom of the tub.
Always. Duh.
Dear Sagittarian Matters,
Ooh.
I have an appreciation and a question for you.
Wow.
Thank you, first of all, for creating the podcast that makes me laugh the most and opens my mind to the wonderful ideas, recipes, concepts, books, and everything you give advice on. I laugh so hard and think so much after each episode and often find myself Googling the things you bring up. I really
Good.
love I really loved hearing about the saga of the beloved scooter. That's the squirrel that I rescued at the beginning of quarantine.
Mm.
Nic- Nicole, you are so funny and astute. Your guests are just awesome. This is tickling me, listener. I
Noble.
love any and all producer Ponyo stories and our narrations you give as well. And thank you, producer Chris, for being such a great producer. I love this cast so much.
Mm.
Okay, my question for Sagittarian Matters is about sauces.
Ooh.
I'm looking for new, awesome sauces I can stock up on and add to salads and foods and have it pop with amazing flavors. I would love to hear about your or your vegan cooking friends' top 10 plus.
10. Okay.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you ahead of time to prepare. Favorite sauces that you make at home or store by, especially if it goes well with tempeh. Thank you so
Mm.
much for such great content from Love Searching for Sauces in Berkeley, California.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me talk tempeh while you gather your 10 plus sauces.
I've got tempeh. I know. I got tempeh defrosting right now.
I may have said this on the show before. My friend Lucas and I once, we were kind of broke young punks. We tried a certain sesame tempeh from the Whole Foods hot bar, and it
Mhm.
was so delicious, but it was like $7.99 a pound. And at the time, that felt like $1,400 a pound. And so we came home and just figured it out ourselves. It was sesame sauce, sweet chili sauce, sorry, sesame oil, sweet chili sauce, some soy sauce, and a little bit of mustard. And
Mm.
that sweet chili sauce, you can get it from an Asian grocery store. It's like the kind that's in a big bottle and it's hot pink. It's like
Mhm.
bright pink with little flecks in it. That's what I'm talking about. You can also get it. There's like the kind of like Asian aisle brand, whatever brand that's like at Joe Normal, like
Nicole's doing air quotes. Yeah.
Safeway grocery store, that's like ethnic food. Like you can find sweet chili oil, sweet chili sauce there,
Mhm,
but
mhm,
it's not as good as if you just go to like a Fubon or wherever and just get like the actual thing.
mhm,
Anyway, you get that, you kind of whisk it up with your fork.
mhm,
I really enjoy steaming my tempeh.
mhm,
I like steaming it open. I
mhm,
like to have some kind of just base sort of soy saucy kind of broth that I steam it in a little bit. You don't need very
mhm,
much, just like a quarter of an inch of that to let the tempeh open. Then you take the tempeh out, you clean out the pan, you put oil in there, you
mhm,
return it to the pan to fry it. You
mhm.
could either pre-sauce it before then or just toss it in the sauce after it's fried.
Pasta.
It's your prerogative.
Mhm,
I think in this case it might be really nice. I mean, like if you're looking for it to caramelize, then go
mhm.
ahead and toss it with a sauce beforehand. I also like tempeh just tossed with maple syrup and soy sauce and
Delight.
then return to that pan and let it caramelize a little bit. It's great in sushi. It's great on top of noodles. It goes along with anybody. It gets along with broccoli.
Plays nicely with.
All right,
It's
Morgan. What else do you have for tempeh?
I love tempeh, and I just so strongly think it is underappreciated. I can't encourage you to give it a try enough. roasted, sautéed, etc. Let's see. Things I typically do with tempeh. I will kind of like put it on a sheet pan. One where it's not like, lonely. It likes to kind of be squeezed in. But like oil, soy sauce, roast the hell out of it, flip it, roast the hell out of it, and then garlic powder, pepper, whatever. Um, that's a great one. You know, Again, like a soy sauce, like any kind of a soy sauce, any kind, take your favorite one. And then a vinegar of your choice or an acid, like either a lemon juice or a balsamic or I know it sounds weird, but just bear with me on it.
Or lime.
Or lime. Yeah, so anything tart with like the salty, because those are kind of two of my faves. And then if you feel like adding a little sweet, like a maple or whatever of your choice, um, you know, that's a good kind of those are like my go-to kind of flavor profiles. They're not really sauces, but they're sort of like, working formulas, if you will. Um, but in the pre-made sauce department, let's see. Well, let's back up, not pre-made. Obviously a peanut sauce.
Let's
And
talk about it.
Nicole revealed her root here, which is this sauce made of sauces. And like it's a page I've just fully stolen. It's great. Literally take every chili sauce you have in your fridge, mix them together, mix them with peanut sauce, add a tiny bit of sweetness and ginger, and like it's gonna be better than you think it's gonna be. It's delightful. Uh,
Peanut butter,
Peanut butter,
something spicy,
something
something
spicy.
sweet. My sweet, I like hoisin sauce if
Yeah.
I can get it, and then something salty. You get a soy sauce in there. Friend of the show, Nate, add some coconut milk.
Yeah,
He
do
does
it.
his on the stove.
And it looks real gross when you stir water in it. It'll like seize up and break, and then just keep adding water and keep stirring, and then it'll get smooth and creamy. Also, a weird thing about like the nut and seed sauce family is they always thicken when you put them in the fridge. So if you make a batch and you're like, this is perfect, this is wonderful, then you put it in the fridge, it's rock hard. So you have to kind of warm it to use it the next day. But don't be scared. Okay, so next in the seed and nut department, obviously a tahini, a dressing or a sauce. I like that one a little more savory, less sweet. So like a
Oh yeah.
tahini, a lemon. I weirdly love a dehydrated onion flake in there. I don't know why. They
Ooh.
just are good. They taste like, I don't know, like, boxed soup mix in a good way. They just are good. And then, yeah, lemon, garlic, like 2 drops of sesame oil, and then water, or maybe just no sesame oil. I made some weird mistake where I added like a fat and a water and it broke, and then I had to add so much water that I ended up with like a quart of this like kind of bad tahini sauce that
Oh
I
no.
slogged through and ate. But yeah, maybe it was some kind of vegan butter.
Oh, so tahini, lemon, garlic, salt or soy sauce,
Yeah.
and then anything else you add is just bonus.
Yeah.
You want to add parsley? Cool. You want to
Yep.
add something spicy?
Oh,
Wonderful.
yeah, exactly. You want to add a different, like a lime? Yeah.
But so a tahini sauce you can use on a sweet potato. You can use it on a salad.
Mm.
You can use it over vegetables and all these
Mhm.
things. The same with a peanut sauce. And listeners know one of my favorite go to foods, which by the way, whenever I play Chopped at home, I'm always thinking of different salad roll combinations.
Yes.
But a salad roll, there's nothing better. If you need to get rid of a bunch of vegetables, roll them up in your rice paper.
Mhm.
Morgan, what about a gravy? You
That
actually, people don't know this, but you're famous for your tempeh and gravy,
I am famous.
tempeh biscuits and gravy that you used to have at Dovetail Bakery.
It's true. I'm fully crediting a former employee with that. Rosa. She was like, I just make this gravy. And then she like winged it a bunch. She was a real character. Her job application was a tiny zine made for the application of a job, not for any other purpose. It wasn't like, I got this around. She made a zine and brought it in and was like, I'd like to work here. I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds cool. And so
How could you say no?
I know, but it was like all of the dried herbs you have in your pantry where you're like, why would you put dried basil in there? I don't even remember what was in it, but like way too many dried herbs, tons of them. A lot of onions, a lot of garlic, sauteed, then a kind of a roux-ish vibe, with like some toasty flour and then some I think unsweetened soy milk that we would use all the time by this local company. And then like pureed cashews, like not quite butter consistency, but not quite milk, whatever in between is milkshake. And so then you whisk it in, and that was just a delight. Again, a thing that like I fully credit someone else with, but like, thank you.
I love like I don't have a lot of foresight. So if I decide to make a gravy or a nutritional yeast sauce and I
Hmm.
want to add cashews, I will just boil water that minute and soak them in the boiling water for like 10 minutes and then puree them by themselves. But I think the soaking them, you're supposed to soak them for thus amount of time. And if you don't do that, just try boiling water or boiling them on a pan on the stove just to have them chill out a little bit.
I stopped soaking them years ago. I know this is probably like not like according to manufacturer's directions, but I just put the cashews in the blender and pour boiling water directly in there.
Hmm.
Works like a dream. Works like a dream. Maybe not like a plastic, like a fragile plastic, but yeah, they get super creamy. I'm like, wait, what have I been doing? Why am I don't like doing steps that are not necessary. If it
Wait,
like
wait.
gives you something like that you can't get otherwise, like I'm into it. That's fine. But like this is the exact same as saving myself 12 hours, and like
12 hours
focus
where you would just be sitting and staring at them.
on watching them. Do they look plump yet?
Well, the world's best kept secret is that I haven't drained my tofu or pressed my tofu since I was a teenager.
I never press my tofu.
No.
I
No.
never do.
Friend
Just
to the
don't.
show, Nate, showed me that he got an Instagram targeted ad that was some kind of tofu pressing device or
I think I've
machine.
seen this exactly same thing.
I haven't gotten this targeted to me because they just know I'm not going to do that.
They're saving their energy for hustling you other stuff.
You just don't. I mean, if a tofu's wet, the wet will just cook off. I don't see what the big
Yeah,
deal is.
yeah,
Nothing's going to happen. It's
yeah.
not going to be a soup.
I know. It's like you spend 10 minutes pressing or 10 minutes cooking. Just cook it. Just cook it. It's fine.
Yeah. Just spend 10 minutes dancing with your dog, doing a slow dance in the living room instead of sitting with like 10 books on top of your tofu block, letting it run its gross, milky water into the
I
sink.
know, and then you have like 100 wet dish towels or like so many soggy paper towels or like this teeter-totter of like cutting
Plates.
board. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, this is fine. Nobody needs this.
So I
Yeah.
like that gravy. I would generally will just do because I'm not as expansively minded as Rosa was. I will just often do rosemary, like rosemary from the yard, just
Like,
clip it, do that with onions, and then yeah, make a roux. Listeners, if you haven't made a roux, look it up, ROUX. It's so easy. It's basically just means flour and water, and it's just like sift or whisking it together until it's thick, and then adding more water. So then then it's getting bigger.
mhm.
You're just adding water, adding flour. It's just like a fun project.
And often you like will fry or toast the flour in some kind of fat first.
If anyone is interested, I feel like I learned this skill and learned some of my favorite nutritional yeast cheese recipes from the New Farm Cookbook, which is
Hmm.
an olden times 70s hippie vegetarian cookbook. But it really does have a delicious vegan pot pie. It has delicious nutritional yeast cheese. It was just like before all of the vegan technological innovations that we live with today. This is what we had.
They're like real swirly illustrations of like some trippy soybeans getting turned into tofu and like some other stuff, some paisleys. I think there's a recipe on how to make yuba, Nicole, your favorite.
There is. I was just telling
Ooh,
someone the other day about the ill-fated yuba knots that made me fart more than anything I've ever experienced in my whole life.
you're welcome. I warned you. I don't know how they do it. I warned you though.
I know.
I
So
know.
those are the sauces I can think of off the top of my head that just live with me.
I mean, I also always have some like pre-made stuff. Like, I'll get yum sauce just because like you're like, I don't know, I got some weird roasted vegetables, or like I have like half of a potato, four Brussels sprouts. You just like are like, I just have to roast all these things and I just want something easy to put on top of it. Yum
Well,
sauce or something analogous.
I remember once as a young person, I was at the grocery store and I saw this kind of like older gay couple that were married. And I was like, you guys seem like you know what you're doing. How do I eat more vegetables? And they were like, oh, you just have to get a good sauce. Just get whatever vegetables you want and just learn how to make a couple good sauces and then
Yeah.
you'll be fine forever.
It's true. I feel also the same way about soups. Just put it all in a soup. Get your basic soup timing down, and then it's like whatever you have, you'll never go hungry.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yum sauce for people who don't know is a regional treat. I think you can probably get it in the Bay Area if you truly are from the Bay Area listener. It's basically a nutritional yeast sauce with some other stuff in it. You can look it up because there's recipes online. It's just yum, like the word yum. It might have too
The
many
letter
M's.
M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, But check it out. You can either get it, you could get it shipped to you, but you don't need to. You could also just make your own. And it's so nice to have around. I surprisingly, from the Yum Cafe, enjoy it with a teriyaki tofu. And the teriyaki tempeh that they
Mm,
make there, which one could make at home by just buying some kind of teriyaki sauce off the shelf,
mhm.
doing your steaming and your frying with your kind of soy sauce tempeh, and then tossing it in teriyaki sauce, bringing it back to the pan, letting that caramelize a little bit. Delicious. You could have it with some vegetables or white rice or cauliflower rice, and then add a side of yum sauce, which is weird but very good.
It sounds delightful. I also, oh, I was gonna say something. I just lost my train of thought because I was paying attention to you talk about food and it sounded delightful. Woo! Well, I'll have to regain. Oh, I was just gonna say it sounds unexciting, but like get some fresh salsa that you love, use it for your salsa applications, and then just like freeze the rest. And like throwing that in with like some greens or some tofu or whatever is also really great because it's everything you already like and it's pre-made, and use it as like an ingredient, not just as a topping.
Mhm.
And you can combine it with some other stuff that's really it's really, that's like the boringest tip. I'm sorry. Can I
Well, this is
rephrase?
how I feel about kimchi.
Yeah.
I
It's
like
like
to, even
yeah.
if you don't know what you're going to eat it with now, just get yourself some sauerkraut or some salsa or some kimchi for the week.
Mhm,
Something a little fermented, something a little spicy. I
mhm.
love adding kimchi to a curry. That's one of my favorite things. I
Mm.
like standing at the counter with an avocado and kimchi and some Hava chips and just making my own
Yeah.
little tiny fusion nachos just by
Mhm.
dipping. It's really a stand and chew snack. It's not a sitting snack. It's a like you have just the avocado in a spoon, you have your chip, you assemble it, you just shove it in your mouth. You could
Yeah.
put kimchi in a salad roll, you put kimchi on a curry. You
Yeah.
could stir fry kimchi with your rice or your cauliflower rice if you're making fried rice. Think about kimchi fried rice as an actual dish at a place. You can
Mhm.
make that at home.
You can make that at home. You can
Well,
make
also, I mean, similar like sauerkraut, you have that. Why not make a tempeh Reuben at home?
Mhm.
Why not? What else can you make with sauerkraut? I don't know, but like having these
Everything.
little
Put it
fermented
on
things.
everything. Just like put it on like a taco. Put it on a whatever it is that you're eating, put it on pizza. Maybe it's good. I don't know actually. I'm not sure if it's good, but just try it. Like salad on pizza is a delight and it's just it's just so good. Have you not had Nicole?
I've not had it.
Pizza
Um,
salad, it's so good. Like an arugula salad that's all dressed with like, a little slice of pear and maybe some I've been really loving the Violife Parmesan, like a
mm.
candied nut on top of a slice of whatever pizza you love. Just a mountain of greens. It's so good. I think what we're doing is we're exploding the concept of a sauce
Mhm,
and we're
mhm.
looking at it from all angles, including it like a wet fermented condiment and also a salad. Is a salad a sauce? Mhm.
I also like to get I have to look up what it's called. Look, maybe 1 second.
Okay, Nicole's looking, and I just remembered another thing I love to do, which is a pesto of any herb. You can make like
Mm, mhm.
a parsley pesto is a delight, and I know basil sometimes is like so expensive or hard to find or just looks gross. You're like, I need 20 packages of this to just make like a dish of pasta. Um, Parsley pesto, delight. Cilantro pesto, incredible. Like whatever fresh herb you like. Guess what? A mixed herbed pesto, why not? I also love like a roasted red peppery thing. Like I would say categories, roasted red peppery thing, some kind of like nut, like a in the family of a romesco, like a nut, an acid, red pepper, maybe some oil. A pesto, like any kind of fresh herb. There's also Jug, which I'm not an expert on and I don't know how to pronounce, but another good fresh herb sauce topping. Nicole's giving it a
A
jamming
big
thumbs
thumbs
up.
up. I wanna tell you 2 sauces that you can get at the store. You can get jus. They even have it at Trader Joe's in the cold
Wonderful.
section. We like to get it, me and Pano, from Wolf& and Bears in Portland, Oregon. So
Well,
delicious. They have it in LA at Dune, but it's not quite as good. The yellow sauce at Dune is better. But if you're going to the grocery store, Italian Bomba hot pepper sauce
mm,
made with Calabrian chili peppers is
ooh,
so delicious and it will give you a reason to wake up in the morning and try to make pasta. Another thing I really like
sure.
is a Korean sauce that is called, I may say it wrong, gochujang. And
Yes,
that is like a red chili paste sauce.
so good.
Having these in the cupboard, not only do they help me if I wanna, like, amend a different sauce, but they inspire me to make something based on the sauce.
I second this all the way. A pure delight. There is a really good local company called Mother-in-Law's, I think.
Hmm.
They've got like a bunch of different gochujang that are so good, and I've added to, every sauce pretty much. They're great in a peanut sauce.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Um,
Wonderful in a peanut sauce.
yeah.
I
I
think
don't
that
know
we
if
did a
you
good job answering
can.
these questions.
But I think, and then of course, I would be remiss not to mention salad dressing. We
You
all
like
know
salad dressing?
we know I love salad, and I I mean, it's definitely been over a decade that I've been eating the same Pansy. Oh, she's just curled up like a little cashew. I'm sorry, salad dressing.
Salad
Um,
dressing. King, please
like
tell me about salad dressing.
get one that you like. My go-to is really garlicky, sauteed in olive oil with apple cider vinegar, salt, pepper, and olive oil, and then more. That's it, more olive oil. It just is like good on every incarnation. Squeeze it up, jazz it up with a little citrus, put a little grapefruit in there. You got a whole new thing going on, but it's, you know, it's a sauce, and it's definitely my top go-to. I've made it more than any other sauce in my life.
I want to mention two more flavor sensations.
Do tell.
One flavor sensation is so basically these are like when I want takeout from these places, but I'm either being too lazy or cheap or the wait time is too long. One of the things I dream about are
Mm,
the shawarma fries from Aviv. And
yum.
that's French fries that have a tahini sauce on them and soy curls, and then some kind of green sauce I'm imagining as a zhug, something like that. You can make that at home. You can make tahini sauce. You can make soy curls. You can have that at home. So easy. It's not a big deal. Those things go together. I wouldn't normally think tahini plus soy curls, but here we are. The
Mhm.
other thing that will come to mind that I'll be like, and I just make it at home or something inspired by our PB&J fries from Potato Champion, which I
What?
haven't had for a long time. You can have it on tater tots. You can have it on a French fry. It's basically a French fry with a peanut sauce and then like a spicy raspberry sauce. I
Whoa.
think there's another word for sauce,
Coulis?
maybe,
I don't know.
but it's like a little dab of this like very spicy kind of jam
Mm.
that's on top of this peanut sauce and it mixes really well and it's great if you have one of my other things that's one of my favorites to always have on hand is sambal, which
Mm.
is another kind of chili sauce. And to
Mm.
have some of that and then salt and pepper on top of that, it is
Ooh, ooh,
wild. It's
ooh.
wildly delicious.
Wildly delicious. Noble. It's gorgeous.
It's noble. It's humble. It's
We're
not
really
humble. It's great.
celebrating the noble spud today.
We are. We are.
That was fries and fries.
Morgan, before we part ways,
Wow.
I
Wow.
wonder, do you have any general food things that are exciting you lately that we haven't already talked about? Or do you have anything to say to listeners, knowing that we are about to round the bend into a different contagious COVID zone?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
have anything to say to listeners?
I don't know. There's too many things to say. Keep your head up. Just keep taking care of each other and yourselves in the spirit of, COVID consent. Just, know that we're all trying our best and we don't know everything about anybody. And so respect people's boundaries when they say them. And, try something new in the kitchen if you're into cooking, or um, you know, maybe safely prepare some food and share it with a friend. I really don't know. Just do whatever you have to do to kind of keep your head up as much as possible. It's month 11 or 10 or whatever. I've lost count. But yeah. Also, thank you for the snacks, everybody. That's what I really want to say. What a delight. And
Thank you for the snacks.
I can't wait to do chopped in real time with real ingredients one day.
Listeners, you heard me talk about this when Karen Tongson was on the show, but if you're looking for something fun to do with your friends that is good via Zoom that you couldn't do off of Zoom unless you created your own weird mega kitchen,
Yeah.
is play Chopped Zoom edition with your friends. You don't have to be in the same town, but you could. I basically think one person should just be like the maestro of events. They
Yeah.
choose the weird ingredients and you either send them to people or you drop them off at their house or you have their partner secretly get it if they are game. These ingredients, this weird basket appears on their porch, and they
Oh, yeah.
then have, you can decide if you want to do 3 rounds, usually on Chopped, appetizer is 20 minutes. I think
Oh
entree
my
is,
God, it's so fast.
I know, I think entree is 20 or 30, and then dessert is 30. For some reason, dessert is like longer than the other ones. Anyway, you could have 3 rounds. I think it's best if you can have a taster who's like their spouse or their neighbor or somebody who's not the cook to
Mhm.
taste their thing and rate it. Um, so, and then you just, maybe you turn off your Zoom cameras, maybe keep your Zoom camera on while everyone's doing their thing, and then you kind of meet together. But I really think Chopped with each other from afar to me is like the new murder mystery party.
Oh my God, I'm really into it. Also, was it Iron Chef where there was the maestro with the like,
Yeah,
really brushed out hair and the silky shirts, and he would crunch that pepper real hard?
the chairman.
The chairman, maestro. Yeah. That was
I still up until very recently, I would be like, Fukui-san, whenever I had a question about something. And 9 times out of 10, the people I was around did not get the reference.
Really?
Yeah.
That show had like
Uh,
just this.
Fukui-san, it looks like Chef Morgan is cutting into that pepper bud, leaving the seeds.
Yes. The bitter flavor in the seeds. That styling, his style was just like I might say iconic.
If anyone listening is too young to know, I want you to know Food Network in America got its legs by airing Iron Chef, which was from Japan. And it is this extravagant, incredible show. It's called Kitchen Stadium. And
Yes.
every time, and the chefs come up from beneath the earth on a platform, and this music plays, goes, oh, and then they
And it's
run.
like all kinds of like dry ice smoke machine. Oh,
And they're all standing in front of a giant banner with their own face on it. And the contender, there's like a guest contender from all around the world. These chefs come, they're like the best of their kind. And there's like this whole, package montage of them being like, I am the best at cooking fish. And I can't wait to come on to Iron Chef to challenge Chef Chinese. There's one chef that is really good at Chinese food, one chef that's really good at French food, one
yeah.
chef that's really good at Italian food, one chef that's really good at Japanese food, and the contender gets to choose who they want to go up against. But they all rise from the earth for the person to choose from. And it's like the Hunger Games. They choose
It
their
is like the Hunger
competitor.
Games. And
They
like
come,
the chairman and the judges are like, 700 feet up in the air. They're so high up. It's like unnecessarily tall.
yeah.
Oh God.
And they look down on them. And then there's like voiceovers because all of the judges are Japanese. And so they have like these like American voiceover actors doing their voices. It's a delight. I would, if it was me going back, as a vegan, I would cherry pick the episodes to make sure you're not watching. Sometimes, like when there's like a live fish, a live octopus,
Yeah.
that's out of my realm of being able to watch it. But you can kind of look online and see like what's the best vegetarian episode or what's the best vegetable episode.
Oh my God. And sometimes they're like, this is, like this mushroom, whatever. And then they do like a whole little like intro bio to the mushroom where they're like,
Have
it's
you heard of
trigger.
mushrooms? They
Yeah.
grow
Yeah.
in the forest,
Mm.
neither animal nor plant.
Yeah. 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 Like today's ingredient is like, chrysanthemum or something. They have to, and they've got like, it is like, it also is the root of all other cooking shows that like you see now. It's 100% true. It's so good. God, I want to.
Every other cooking show. And listeners, correct me if I'm wrong. If there's a precursor to Iron Chef,
Ooh.
kind of like when I learned that Little Richard had ripped off his whole persona from somebody else. If Iron Chef has ripped off its persona from somebody else, I can enjoy them both, but I just want to know.
I want to
As-
watch.
I want to watch. But as far as I know, Iron Chef was the beginning. People got into that. And from that, the Food Network sprang. So any of this Cutthroat Kitchen,
Hmm.
Chopped, Master Chef,
All of them.
Hell's Kitchen, all of
Okay.
these stem from MasterChef. Morgan, you and I have watched Cutthroat Kitchen. I've been trying, now in month 11, I've gotten Kaya into it a little bit.
Whoa.
The other day, somebody had to use just bread as their cooking device. Somebody had to do all their cooking in a ladle.
That makes sense.
I know your favorite was when I told you I saw someone make minestrone soup in a Keurig.
Yes. Or I think there was one episode where their only cooking utensil was tinfoil.
That to me right now, that feels generous based on the things I've seen them do to each other. They made some guy wear some kind of SM sort of like handcuff to a board kind of thing
Like
where he
stockades or whatever?
yeah, it was like a stockade that he had to wear around the kitchen and like pick up things with his hands and stockades.
Like, maybe that's like what we should do. We should have a home version, a Zoom version of Cutthroat Kitchen.
Well, the thing about Cutthroat, people who don't know what I'm talking about, it's a cooking show where you can foil your opponents by giving them these preset challenges, such as make your minestrone soup in a Keurig. And then the judge has to eat it, not knowing that you made it in a Keurig. They're just eating it, being like, is this minestrone soup? Yes or no? But the best one I saw was like so simple. It said, if you get this challenge, you can make two of your competitors hold hands for the rest of the competition. And so two people had to finish all their cooking at different chef stations holding hands with each other.
A lot harder than it seems. A lot harder.
I have to say, I'm not that far away from just playing hide and seek with my partner in the house. Here in month 11, let's get fun where we can have it.
I cheers to that. Celebrate every joy, every victory.
Hide and seek, hold hands while you're cooking.
Also, one time, uh, Torrance and I made this like fancy meal that took us way too long. I don't even remember what it was. But like she did all the plating, and there was like a fence of sweet potatoes blocking some tower of it, and it was like the ploppiest plating, but the plating was the funnest part. So maybe, consider individually plating your meals as fancy as you possibly can with whatever you have around. And that might, spice up your dinner, if you know what I
Are
mean.
we going to look back on this someday and be like, remember when we were trapped in our homes for a
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, you could play hide and seek.
You guys
You could
remember
cook all your food in a ladle.
and then we made our food tall on a plate, and it was so funny. We laughed for so long. Just try it. Just try it. You know what? I challenge you to not laugh. Yeah.
Morgan,
Tanya.
thank you for coming on Sagittarian Matters.
It is a pleasure to see you and, eat these delicious foods with you. Thanks again, listeners, for all these treats.
Thank you to Will. Thank you to Emily. Thank you to Liz Prince. Thank you to Dawn Riddle.
100%. And then some.
Listeners, you can always send us your foods. Just DM us on Instagram or write us. Just DM us on Instagram. We'll tell you where to send the stuff.
I'll tell you
Okay.
where to send it.
I'm going to stop recording.
Aye, aye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.